Guys, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we're gonna talk about transforming operators in RxJava that we have. So we're gonna discuss here map, flatMap, concatMap and switchMap. So let's begin our journey with map. So first we have here map transformation. So I'm having here an observable. We have few items in it like 1 2 3 4 5. So map transformation is used when you want to perform transformation on each emissions. Like here in this observable we are having 1 2 3 4 5. Now these items are representing the emissions. So if you will use here subscribe and print ln, print the values, and when you execute it you will get all of the items 1 2 3 4 5. Now I want to perform transformation on each item, or you can say on each emissions. So to do that we'll use here map. So let's say I want to multiply all of my emissions with 2. So use here it into 2. It represent the emissions or emitted value, and 2 will eventually use to modify this value, and after that we'll subscribe, or you can say consume the transformed value, execute it. So here you can see we are getting 2 4 6 8 10. So eventually it is transformed. So this is what map transform is. You can use map transformation when you want to perform transformation on each emissions or on each items. Next we have flat map. So in order to explain this flat map you properly, I'm gonna create a function get user details and pass the user ID. Type of this thing is integer, and it will return me an observable of type string. So we have here delay time. Basically this function will mimic the network request call. From 100 to 500 will take any random and convert it into long. Return observable just, and as you can see the return type of this thing is observable, type is string. So user is, and use the user ID. I want to introduce delay just to mimic the network request call. Introduce our delay time, and in place of the time unit I'm using here milliseconds. So that's it. This get user detail will eventually provide me the user detail, and also it mimics the network request call because of this delay. Sorry, I'm using here debounce, which is wrong. We have to use here delay. Cool. So just below to our flat map comment I'm gonna create a flat map observable just, and in this we have 1 2 3 4 5. So this 1 2 3 4 5 will eventually represent a user ID. Use here subscribe and print the values one by one. And just before our flat map I'm gonna use here print ln just to make a differentiator between our map and flat map. Execute it. 1 2 3 4 5, which is correct. Okay, so now I want to use flat map. What flat map will do? Flat map is used when you want to convert or transform an observable into a new observable, and in flat map order doesn't matter. If you want to execute any task in which order or sequence doesn't matter, you can go with flat map. So we'll use here flat map. It will give us the user ID one by one, and we have a function naming get user detail which will mimic the network request call, and in this I'm gonna pass my user ID. But if you are using here subscribe you will get nothing, as you can see in here, because our task is not completed yet. So instead of using subscribe, use here blocking subscribe and execute it. As you can see we are retrieving the information about the user ID for first. As I said to you, in flat map order doesn't matter. If you want to execute your task in sequence, flat map is not for you. If you want to execute your task without taking care of the sequence, then you can use flat map, of course. So here you can see we are retrieving the information about the user ID for first, then 5, then 2, then 1, then 3, right? So with flat map this is the not the issue, this is the functionality of flatMap. It doesn't care about the sequence. Now what will happen if I just change this flatMap to concatMap? In flatMap order doesn't matter, in concatMap order matters. So re-execute it. 1 2 3 4 5, as I said to you, in concatMap order matters. So now we are going to discuss switch map transforming operator. So for that, first we're gonna create a publish subject, because publish subject is required in order to show you the use case of switch map. So switch map is used when you want to drop the previous emission when new emission arrive. So subject, we have switch map on it, and we are retrieving or receiving the query in a form of emission from this publish subject. So when we get any query, we'll use here observable dot just, and we're gonna type the query, mention the incoming query, and at the end just add the results. And we have a delay. Just to show you how switch map will work, I'm gonna attach a delay. So this delay will eventually mimic the network request call. So 500 time unit is in millis. We'll use subscribe print ln just to print the values. So in this subject I have attached switch map transformation, and after that I will subscribe on it just to consume the incoming values. Now it's time to push some emissions in this subject. So subject on next, I'm gonna use here jet. So user type inquiry jet. Subject on next jetpack. Okay, subject dot on next jetpack compose. And just after that, because our network request will take 500 millisecond, I'm gonna sleep my thread for 3 seconds in order to complete this emission, right? So due to this reason I'm using here thread sleep 3 seconds. Now when I execute it, so logically it will give you this emission. As you can see in here, query jetpack compose results. This is happening because switch map will drop the previous emission and it will only take care about the new emissions that arrives. So this is what switch map is, and that's it for this video. We saw about map, flat map, concat map, and switch map transforming operators in RxJava, and these operators are the backbone of RxJava. Thank you.